Hello again, MiniGT collectors. We got number 611, which is a historic Lincoln, apparently. A Lincoln Capri. This particular one, I guess, won the 1954 Carrera Panamerica, at least the class. Alright, a class winner, not the overall winner, I'm guessing. Okay, well, reading some internet info, this is a full-size car, the Capri. It was made between 1952 to 1959. And then this is the first generation. Well, no, the first generation went to 55, but I guess this car is the first generation Capri. This is a 5.2 liter up to 5.6 liter V8, making 160 up to 225 horsepower. And then these things dominated the Mexican road races between 1952 to 55, and as this photo says here, the third straight Pan American victory. So it was a 5-day race that followed a route that climbed 10,486 feet. And Ray Crawford, I guess that's Ray, was the winner in 1954. He's the person that drove this thing. And it's crazy. This thing had no power steering, no power brakes. It was basically a stock Lincoln, but with dual shock absorbers, airlifts in the rear. And the rear end was raised 4 inches for better control. It ran 6-ply tubeless tires inflated with nitrogen. That actually makes sense. Doesn't expand as much with nitrogen. 12-inch ribbed brake drums. They replaced the stock 11-inch drum brakes. Drum brakes are horrible. If you've ever driven a car with drum brakes, you're a daring person. I did that once, and I thought I was going to die. Those brakes are worthless. Okay, so then this car was driven 1,908 miles at an average speed of 992.22 miles per hour, and it took 20 hours, 40 minutes, and 19 seconds to drive that distance. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, you're driving through the desert at 92 miles per hour in a car with drum brakes. And I mean, it's just like it's like a normal car, not a sports car, right? All right, so that's a long introduction, but it's interesting to learn about the real world, and I didn't know any of this until I bought this model. All right, so there it is in modern times, and it's a pretty good rendition here. This is a licensed model licensed by Ford, so all right, yeah, that looks. I guess that's an old photograph, maybe. Here it is in modern times again. I wonder if that's Ray Crawford. Apparently this person owns markets. Okay. So we do have these plain stamped wheels. They're not as detailed as the real wheels. The real wheels have a tiny little, gaps here. This seems to omit that, but it does have black paint for the lug nuts in the center area. And then the tires are ballooning, they're rounded, so they look like old school tires. They have treads, and yet from the side they don't look knobby like truck tires, so these tires are good. Okay, so all this looks like Tampo printing, all this sponsorship. No weird air pockets, no weird orange peel of a decal, and they're not going to peel off, so that's fantastic. This is a very heavy model because the base is metal. I feel if MiniGT wanted to make more money, they would just switch back to plastic bases. I don't know why people insist on making Hot Wheels expensive, right? No one's going to display this upside down. It just costs more money to make metal things, right? And it also costs a lot more to ship it around. So this should be plastic in my opinion, but it does have a very smooth rolling. That's something the whole brand is into, making Hot Wheels apparently. Alright, so this side we have a little Capri thing printed on there. This little silver detail is nicely done. A little panel gap, so that cover is alright. There's a big silver swatch here for this bottom rub strip. And then, yeah, again, all these sponsor things are really nicely printed, very legible. And here we have, I guess that must say Lincoln? Yeah, some sort of, yeah, I think that says Lincoln in some crazy old 50s font. Over here we have the race name. We have recessed windows. So this is the casting I'm touching, but this is the plastic window with silver paint. The door handle is sticking out, a little silver dot for the thumb push as well as the door lock. Those flags are nicely done. Separate chromed plastic bumpers, pretty nice. There's depth to these vents, and there's black paint or something back there. Sorry, I'm hitting the camera. The vents above the bumper, just smooth but black, looks good. Some silver for the chrome looks good. This giant badge, it is sticking up, and there's some sort of multiple color thing there. I'm gonna zoom in here. That's really impressive for the cost of a MiniGT. There's many colors, right? Each color costs money to print. And then what the heck is that? Papito, but yeah, more colors again. The clear headlights look good. The chrome bezel around them look good. This thing, that's pretty cool. A little separate plastic piece. Some silver paint here. And that's actually raised, whatever that chrome accent is. Alright. The paint is not metallic, it's just red, I think. There's some yellow paint up here. Yeah, look again, tampo printed. Very cool. Crawford's Market, some more color there. Panel gaps, not bad. Some sort of a little bit of contaminant or something there. This old Lincoln badge. I've never seen this badge before. So painted taillights, and that's fine. I mean, there's so much other stuff going on here. Separate plastic rear bumper, no license plate, but then again, I don't even see it on the rear photograph, so it is a race car after all. A little recess for the exhaust, and that's the exhaust is a separate piece, I think. Yeah, it's literally floating over this rear end, so. No, this is interesting. They hollowed out the bottom of the bumper. Alright, now interior-wise, I don't know if the real car has it looks like it has a red interior, the real one, at least today in the modern photos. But the old ones, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a black interior. So no headrests. They look like racing seats. I don't think there's rear seats because it's a race. No, wait, I'm mistaken. There's a big bench seat in the rear. Door panels. Big steering wheel. Some gauge recesses. The glove box. Okay, I have a suspicion the seats might be unique to this car. You know, maybe the other ones, the other Capris MiniGT puts out has different seats because they have these crazy side bolsters, you know, like a real race seat would have. Okay, yeah, alright. But I don't know what that thing is in the middle. Doesn't look like a stick shift. Or an e-brake. I don't know what that is. Some sort of armrest, but why is there a bump there? Almost looks like there's a cup holder there on the floor. Oh, there's the stick shift. Big long stick shift as a car probably would have back then. So I really don't have many cars from the 50s. That decade just doesn't do it for me. Unless they're hot rods. But there's a TLV of a Toyopet Crown. And so it definitely looks like an American car, but look how small it is because, you know, this is after the war. People didn't have money and the roads are narrow. I added my own license plate to that. This is a green light. Again, metal base. Just silly. But they tell you what it is. 55 Chevy Nomad. Does this tell you what it is? That's the problem with this brand. No, it doesn't tell you what the car is. So that's just, I think it's just stupid, really. I mean, luckily it says Lincoln on the sponsorship, but the other castings, you're going to pick it up and like, oh, that's just an old car. So here's another green light of a 60s Continental. Oh yeah, changed over the wheels though. Alright. I wish someone made a premium version of this without the hood panel gaps and all that stuff. And even the coupe version would be kind of cool. And then lastly, we have, what is this, Auto World? Yeah, 78 Mark V. This thing's a behemoth. But yeah, the hood panel gaps, not a fan of that. You can really see chunks of metal missing on this edge, right? Whereas the back is fine because it doesn't open. So yeah, the big wide roads of America can allow these aircraft carrier-sized cars, no problem, but that stuff doesn't fly in most Asian cities. You know what, I'm just going to move over to this because it looks more like an off-road scene. Well, I gotta say, you know, even though I don't like the styling of the 50s and stuff like that, this might be one of the best Mini GTs they've ever done. As far as money and budget go, this has the most paint apps I've ever seen. It has separate bumpers. It's got that funky center thing that's a separate piece. It's got a separate bezel around the headlights. So the only thing it's missing is, you know, clear plastic taillights. But they can't give you everything for the cost of a Mini GT. So yeah, this is a really good value. Way light years beyond all the US brands, the green light stuff, and what that's silly. This green light's actually not bad because there's no opening panels, but it's just far more realistic looking, I think, than any sort of Auto World with its painted on headlights and stuff. Thank you for watching. We shall see you in the next Mini GT video.